Today on the channel, it's a return of the Kyle Peterson Top 5, and in honor of Hacksaw Jim Duggan re-signing a WWE Legends deal, I'm going to count down my top 5 most wanted Hacksaw Jim Duggan figures. Tough guy.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another edition of the Kyle Peterson Top 5, a Thursday tradition here on this very YouTube channel. As every single Thursday, we're counting down my top 5 and occasionally top 10 favorites of something or someone. And today, in honor of Hacksaw Jim Duggan signing a new WWE Legends deal, that means new WWE Mattel figures in our future. And I want to take a deeper dive in 5 figures I would like to see of Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and I'm going to take that extra step and I'm going to say what Mattel toy line I want to see these additions into. And of course, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, no stranger to action figures, going all the way back to the LJN days. And a lot of people on the surface say we've had pretty much every Hacksaw. We've had a lot of them. Most people think of Hacksaw probably in the blue trunks, 2x4 American flag. I get that, but there's even more for Hacksaw that could be done and that will be done via Mattel. And we're going to count them down here, and we're going to start at number 5, work our way to number 1. Number 1 being my most wanted Hacksaw figure and attire. And of course, this is my list. Put your list in the comments down below. As I always say, my list 100% right, your list 100% right. So without further ado, let's kick it off at number 5. We begin the countdown here at number 5, and to me, number 5 is a pretty easy layup. We're going Hacksaw Jim Duggan, obviously, but we're going to the Coliseum collection, and we're going to get Hacksaw Jim Duggan in his traditional black trunks. Of course, in homage, top far on the couch, ladies and gentlemen, to his LJN figure. And that's what the Coliseum collection is, a love letter to the LJN line. This is another guy they can get in that collection. So you know we're going to get a Hacksaw in the black trunks. That's why it's at number 5. It's an easy layup. Would love to see this paired up with a King Harley race. I think that would be a fun 2-pack. Kind of makes sense, of course. Both kings at one time, I guess. Would be a good way to get those in the collection together. But this Hacksaw seems like a very easy one. That's why it's at number 5 for me. It would be the Ultimate Coliseum Collection, Black Trunks, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. For my number 4 Hacksaw Jim Duggan selection, once again, we're going to an Ultimate Edition figure. This time we're going to go to the Legends Ultimate Edition figure over at Target. So this would be a Target exclusive. And this is your traditional Hacksaw Jim Duggan figure. Now, we've had this in the past in the Elite. That's why I'd like to see this as an Ultimate. Of course, you're going to have a flag, an American flag preferably. You're going to have a 2x4, and you're going to have him in his iconic blue trunks. I'm sure we'll get some extra hands with that and at least one extra head. I think that's just an easy layup once again. So that's why it's a little deeper down the line here at number 4 for me. But seems like it writes itself. Number 4, number 5, both Ultimate Editions, both iconic looks. Works for me. That's why Hacksaw Target Legends is what I want to see at number 4. We hit the halfway point. The countdown at number 3. You got your list together. Make sure you put it in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Dangerously close to 50,000 subscribers. You guys are going to enjoy the 5-year milestone video on the channel. We'll do some giveaways around that. So make sure you're following me on social media, subscribe to YouTube, all that kind of fun stuff. But we're really getting to the end of the line, and the cuts are getting a lot deeper now for the final 3 versions here. And number 3, we're going to WCW. So this would be perfect for the WCW Monday Night Wars Walmart Elite line. That's where I'd like to see my number 3 selection. And number 3 is TV champion Hacksaw Jim Duggan in his full-on janitor gear. Of course, a very memorable, as brief as it was, very memorable. Hacksaw wearing his janitor outfit and then going in the garbage and pulling the TV title out. I thought that was really cool. And Hacksaw, a guy you don't think is a world champion. You don't really think of him as an Intercontinental champion. Yes, he was United States champion for a little bit, of course. We remember that. But a TV title felt right for that. You put him on WCW Saturday Night that Jimmy Hart was running at the time. There was a lot of meat on the bone right there with Hacksaw. And of course, Hacksaw, a stalwart of wrestling going back to the 80s. And in the 90s, still getting it done in his janitor outfit of all things. I thought it was a cool look. It's a moment in time. It'd be perfect for the Monday Night Wars. So Hacksaw Jim Duggan Janitor Edition comes in at number 3. Closer and closer to the top spot, we're the number 2 selection right now. And number 2, an easy layup. I know we're going to get this one. It'll be interesting where it ends up going, but it is a classic Hacksaw Jim Duggan with a twist. It's going to be Face Paint Edition Hacksaw Jim Duggan. From his time teaming up with Demolition, you know me, I'm a sucker for face paint. I am here for this, and I would love to see this in the traditional Legends. The Legends set would be great, or the traditional Elite set. Pick your poison on that one there. I would like to have this one with 2 heads, though, so we can make it with face paint or without face paint. I think that's the extra oomph we need for this one. Now, we did get the Legends version of Hacksaw that this would kind of represent once upon a time. We also got a basic Hacksaw Jim Duggan with face paint. It's basically bringing those 2 together into one Elite, be it for whatever line they want to put it. Most likely probably the Legends line. I would also not be opposed for this in the WWE Superstars line. I think that makes a lot of sense, but we do know, should be here about 6 months ago, but I guess any day now is what they're saying. Powertown Remco style figures, we're getting Hacksaw Jim Duggan in the Superstar scale. So we'll see what that one's like when that day finally does come. Hopefully soon, but we've been saying that for a long time. But I think there is a lot of meat on the bone for a face-painted Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I would like to see a 2 heads Elite, preferably in the Legends line with Hacksaw Jim Duggan, one with face paint, one without. Traditional blue trunks. American flag would be nice. 2x4 is a must-have. We'll see what ends up happening there, but that's my number 2 selection, which means there can only be one. What is left? What do I want to see from Mattel via Hacksaw Jim Duggan? Well, stay tuned. Here we are. We're at the number 1 Hacksaw Jim Duggan figure I want to see, hopefully from Mattel. Once again, get your list together. Put it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Dangerously close to 50,000 subscribers. Appreciate all the support out there. But now it's time to get to the number 1 selection. And this is one a lot of people forget about, but man, oh man, it was shocking. Now, it might not have been as shocking as John Cena turning heel, or of course, Hulk Hogan turning heel at Once Upon a Time at Bash of the Beach and joining the NWO. But this one was a pretty big deal, of course. It was one Hacksaw Jim Duggan when he said, forget America, I'm done with it. I'm headed north. I'm headed to Canada. Somebody get me a maple syrup. And that's what Hacksaw did say. And he joined up with Team Canada, of course, Lance Storm's team, which I absolutely loved at the time. Lance Storm coming off ECW, one of my absolute favorite performers of all time, especially that era. And Hacksaw seemingly really not fitting in, but doing the denouncing of America, joining Team Canada, shaving the beard off was a monumental thing. Very, very cool. We've never got it in action figure form. And I think that would be a very cool Elite part of the Monday Night Wars. Hacksaw, clean shaven, slick back, shorter hair, and then of course his Team Canada jacket. That would be different. That would be awesome. That is a moment in time, and that's the kind of action figures I absolutely love at this stage in my collecting game. So I think that would be a very, very fun one to have. We'll see what happens. Of course, red trunks, I think, is what he wore at the time for that. So definitely different for Hacksaw from all those years in the blue and representing, of course, America all the time. To get in with a Canadian flag and so forth would be very, very cool, and that's why it's number 1 on my top 5. A lot of fun with this video here. We might do more of these top 5 of some of these characters that there's still a lot of meat on the bone that we haven't gotten, of stuff that I would like to see and possibly you would like to see as well. So there it is. That's Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Once again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to both YouTube channels. Check out my Patreon for early access to everything and your best way to support the channel. Pro Wrestling Tees, of course. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget my book, The Complete Guide to the Jax Class Superstars series, available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and digitally. My new TikTok channel, and of course, Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and Instagram. So for the Hacksaw Jim Duggan Top 5 Most Wanted, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
We're going to the end of the line.